Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Chief Operating Officer Sheryl Sandberg will meet with at least 3 civil rights groups. That's going to happen tomorrow. This comes as the social media giant grappling with an advertising boycott amid calls for the company to do more to crack down on hate speech. We want to continue this conversation about big tech because there's some other news that's just crossed this morning from the Wall Street Journal. The company's WhatsApp messaging service just announcing that it will suspend processing law enforcement requests for user data in Hong Kong. This is important. It says it's assessing the impact of China's new security law, particularly on human rights. Joining us right now is Gene Munster, founder and managing partner at Luba Ventures. I want to talk to Gene about so many other tech companies and tech stocks, but want to get your thoughts about this WhatsApp decision from Facebook, of course, Facebook owning WhatsApp, in terms of what they're doing in Hong Kong, again, jumping into the deep end of a deep political, more than skirmish, battle taking place, and how much you think that is motivated by commercial interests, by moral interests, by perhaps the administration here in the United States putting pressure on them. How do you think that came to be?
I think Facebook ultimately wants to do the right thing. That's a good starting point. So there is this moral compass that they have. Unfortunately, their business just simply doesn't apply to it. The way we think about this is Facebook is a pit bull. It's impossible to steer it into becoming a lapdog. And this is another example of it, is that they're trying to do the right thing here. They're trying to balance human rights with a commercial business. And one of the challenges is they step into yet another catch-22 for them. This will be the fourth of that has now come to fruition in the last few weeks. As they step into this, seemingly doing the right thing for human rights obviously will jeopardize the availability of WhatsApp in the region. Now, the good news for investors is that WhatsApp is less than 5% of revenue, and so not a lot to factor in on that front. But the simple takeaway, Andrew, is I think Facebook really wants to do the right thing. Unfortunately, it is intensely complicated and surprising to me that with these 4 waves of catch-22s that are coming at them, it surprises me that the stock is near an all-time high at $650 billion valuation.
Well, Gene, real quick, that's my question. What are the commercial implications? Maybe the stock price is the better way to put it, relative to these moral, ethical, and in some cases now going to be legal and regulatory implications. Mark Zuckerberg, by the way, as you know, participating later this month in a hearing on Capitol Hill, perhaps virtually, but alongside the likes of Tim Cook, alongside the likes of Jeff Bezos and Sundar Pichai of Google.
The biggest commercial implication is going to be what's going to happen to Facebook and Instagram, the vast majority of their revenue. And if you look at those two pieces independently, the Facebook, in terms of its rhetoric, is I view this as just a toxic platform. Instagram is, I think, more benevolent. But ultimately, think about the implications as 50% of Facebook's revenue is going to come under greater scrutiny. And there is everything from the publisher aspect, and this could impact advertising dollars. We're seeing that with the boycott. So what is the impact? Is that you're going to see more advertisers scrupulous about how Facebook is doing its curating its content. And by definition, when you start to curate content, you become a publisher, which creates different waves of regulation around that. And then there's another wave around this, which is the wave around regulation. You had mentioned at the top what's going on in Europe. Obviously, Facebook will be one of the tech giants, Zuckerberg, at the end of this month, testifying in front of Congress. What does all of that mean is continued potential regulation, unbundling products. And I think when you put this all together, when you bring it back to the stock, investors love to sleep well at night. They love to know that the platform is going to be moving in the right direction, growing. But in the case of Facebook, it is really unclear how these 4 waves are going to impact their ability to monetize.